Hi everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back to Naylo's Thrift Talk. I'm Lola. Nay? Nay, are you there?
And I'm Nay.
Are you delayed? Is like my audio delayed for you?
I think I'm okay now. Can you or do I seem delayed?
Yeah, you seem delayed for a second, but I think you might have fixed.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. If you're new to this channel, we are a weekly live YouTube show all about thrifting and reselling and different ways that we incorporate secondhand items in our everyday lives. And this week we have a little bit of a different show. This is our first two-part show. So because it's the Memorial Day weekend coming up, we thought it was a good time to look forward to the summer and kind of get all of our inventory listed and everything kind of ship-shape. So we are going to start today by doing kind of an anti-haul, sharing at some of our stuff that is not listed, that's in our profit piles. So it's not newly purchased, it's not newly thrifted. We've had it for quite a while, but we're going to share it just like a regular haul and talk about some of our goals. And then in our part two, we will be revisiting what we were talking about. We'll go over some of our goals and see what we did. Anything you want to add, Nay?
Yeah. I seem to be. Yeah. Am I breaking up at all? Because if I am, I might have to move my location.
You were for a second, but I think you're okay now. Do you feel good doing the show, or should we pause and let you read?
No, I'm okay. I might just have to move. I'm upstairs, and for some reason, my internet hasn't been. Thought it was good. Can everybody hear me okay?
Let's see. Everyone in the chat, if you want to just say if you can hear Nay, or if okay. Well, now Nay is gone for a second, so we might need to let Nay leave and come back. So before we get started, we always have our usual segments.
I can try that.
Okay. How are you doing now?
I can hear. I'm fine now. I just don't know if because you're a little bit delayed to me, but I think hopefully if I have to move, I'll move. It's okay. Sorry.
Okay. Do you want to dive into our usual segments for the week?
Yeah, sure. So, okay. So what are you wearing that's thrifted, Lola?
Okay, so I am wearing, this is a jacket that I thrifted quite a while ago. It is currently listed. It's just like a really nice lightweight army green jacket. The brand is Sanctuary. And it has been on my in my Poshmark closet for quite a while, and I was eyeing it. So I know I've dropped the price quite a bit, and I don't know if there will be any interest, and I kind of like it, so it may just be mine. And then it matched really well with oops, thanks, Nay. I forgot to change the video. With this scarf, which I'm pretty sure I have worn before. I bought it when I was living in London, and it was like £1, but it's one of my favorite scarves. I pull it out a lot, and I noticed it matches, like the taupe here matches the jacket almost perfectly, so it seemed like it was meant to be. And how about you, Nate? Oh yeah.
Okay.
I had a pixie cut like a year and a half ago, and my hair is like all the way down to here. I can't believe it.
So I am wearing this my go-to Phillies hat that I thrifted at Goodwill a long time ago, and this I got it from Thrift to You recently. Wearing my Phillies tee, and it got cold here all of a sudden. We had some storms and whatnot, so I am now wearing my. Yeah, it just like got really cold. So I have on my it's a J. Jill sweater that I also thrifted for like $1. I'm also wearing my Kendra Scott bracelet that I was going to sell, but It arrived cracked from shopgoodwill.com. I think I talked about that on another show. So I'm wearing it, and and then in the background I have my mannequin is wearing a batik dress that it's like an odd boutique brand, and I have to get this listed. So this is part of my listing pile. And then this is also from Thrift to You. It is actually paper beads. So I'll be keeping that necklace though. You can see.
Is it like handmade or do you know?
Yeah, it's like handmade paper beads. It's like rolled paper.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, those are so pretty. Very cool.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And like upcycled junk mail or something like that. You can see all the bright colors.
So I will be keeping that. I'm not gonna sell it, but I will be listing the dress behind me. So it is a size small. It's like an oversized small. So if anyone is interested, it will be for sale. So.
Very cute. Very summery. Perfect for, I was going to say this weather, but the weather is currently overcast and freezing. So maybe weather in a couple
and we're going to have a whole Memorial Day weekend full of rain and cold. So it's like, oh well, I still have to go walking in it, but so what thrifted home decor items do you have, Lola?
Nate, can you hear me? Because I sometimes I'm saying stuff.
The screen back. What's that?
Can you not hear me? Because a couple times I was talking and it didn't sound like you could hear me.
Do I need to move?
Maybe, yeah.
Let me try to move somewhere else. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay, I will do my thrifted home decor, and then if I need to, I can jump into the main segment.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. All right.
Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for holding tight while we have our, it's always something going on. But while Nay is doing that, so I had pulled this out a couple days ago to use. Like I always try to use it on special occasions, but it's also nice to use kind of randomly. Just makes everything feel a little bit special in the morning. This is a coffee craft that I bought in Scotland many years ago now. I went to visit one of my best friends besides Nay, who was studying in Scotland, and found this at a charity shop and packed it so carefully in my suitcase. I remember wrapping it in like all the clothing I brought with me because it does have a small crack. I mean, you can't really see it. There's a small crack on the handle, and I was so afraid of losing it. But it arrived safely. I've had it ever since, and I always pull it out when we have guests over and have like brunch in the mornings. And just like I said, randomly when I want the morning coffee to be a little bit extra special. So the brand on this is Crown Devon.
Cool. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I am in my bathroom, so excuse that. But I had to go somewhere I could shut the door and I would get internet. So here I am.
Yeah,
it's home.
a lot better. It's a lot better.
I used to do the show and I reset my router, but for some reason in my room, I can't. The internet is just not. It's like glitching. So
yeah, Ryan says he may need a dual band router. So it sounds like
I don't know what that is, but okay. All right.
You have your home decor?
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to my. Okay. Okay, you can go back to me to the big. I have my item here. All right, so here we go. This is actually Thrift to You for $1. I wanted to show a home decor piece that is in my listing queue since we're doing this show, so that I am going to be listing this. It is naughty, like adults scenes of.
Are they actually like historic? Yeah,
it's from the Satyrus National Museum in Greece. So, but they are vintage. They're, I think, from the 70s. And I did find one listed. I have to look on Terapeak, but I did find one that was listed. and one that was sold that sold for around in the neighborhood of $30. I do see that one is cracked here because I'm just looking at them for the first time. But I don't think that's a deal breaker. And again, when you order from Thrift to You, you don't really exactly know what you're getting because they just throw up pictures. You know, everything's $1. So it is cracked, but that's okay. I don't think that's going to be a major deal breaker that one is cracked. So.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's such a unique item. I can't imagine that for the person who's looking for that.
Exactly. So I'll be listing these, and so that's that.
How are you going to list them? And like, since they're adult material, did you have any thoughts about?
No, I'm just going to list them on eBay. I don't think I had asked Jason about that before, like if I needed to list them in the adult category, but it's not like nude pictures or anything. It's like,
it counts as art, so it's like art.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fine in just like the regular category, you know.
That will be interesting to see if you have any trouble getting it listed, because I was reading that eBay's making the categories a little bit stricter, but I think art is still fine, so
yeah,
shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully,
I should be fine. So let me see if I can get my screen back here. So sorry, now I'm working from one monitor again.
Oh no.
Of course. Well, because I couldn't bring in the whole monitor.
Yeah.
I had anyway, let's see. Okay. So our next segment is holy crap, this sold. So here is.
I just have to say that Nay so far has found these on her own, and I don't know what they are before the show, so this is a surprise to me as well.
So I have, let's see, I have, the first one is this oddball, weird vintage chalkware trinket tray, baby riding a goldfish outsider art. So yeah, so it sold for $19. And it is indeed a baby riding a goldfish, which is kind of interesting.
That is quite interesting. I wonder if it goes to the same seller who would be interested in your coasters.
I don't know, but yeah. So that sold for $19. I think it's kind of a cool piece. But and then I have one of my listings that sold. So I was actually surprised, if you remember. So I got like the week before, the blue box before, I had ordered some purse blue boxes, and one I ordered was like this gorgeous Tory Burch bag with like a bonus Tory Burch wallet, and it sold for a lot. I got like a Dooney bag, and then I got this lovely, new with tags, yes, but it was with a JCPenney tag on it, Liz Claiborne bag. So I knew it wasn't going to sell for a whole lot, but I was surprised because the blue box is $20 plus shipping. So technically I didn't really make my money back with, once I paid the fees and the shipping, but I was surprised that I sold this Liz Claiborne bag from the blue box for $22 plus shipping.
Yeah, I remember you being really upset and thinking there was no way you'd make that.
Yeah, so there's the JCPenney.com tag on it, and yeah, because I just didn't think it just didn't have the resale value, but I did sell it for $22 and pretty much recouped my money back from that blue box. So
that's not bad, and I mean the blue box always is a gamble. That's part of what's fun
of course, yeah. So I wasn't, yeah.
If this is the worst case scenario, definitely would keep buying.
Exactly.
Those blue boxes, yeah.
So I guess next week we are doing part 2 of the listing challenge. Plus, as a bonus, happy birthday to Lola. So we have kind of a fun story. I actually thrifted a birthday present for Lola, but I thrifted it on Etsy, and it happened to be from a reseller friend. And yeah, and there's a really cool story that goes with it. So she's going to be opening her gift on air, and there's a really cool story and a thrifted history bonus segment that goes with it. So it's all kind of tied to Lola's birthday. Her birthday is actually on Saturday, but we'll be celebrating it on the 4th, next Friday. So that's a little bonus. And we're going to be doing the listing challenge part 2, which is going to be like, we're going to be talking today about some of our goals, some of the things that we have to list, show some of the things in our in our piles and whatnot. And then we're going to be showing like what we were successful with, what maybe we weren't so successful with, some things that, maybe there's some things that we could have done better. We did great. And we're going to talk about how we held ourselves accountable and whatnot and how that worked out. So we'll be doing our listing challenge part 2 next week. And if any of you guys want to join in on the listing challenge, feel free. You can put comments in the chat. You can actually this week, you can, send us an email, send us a message, whatever, and let us know, what your goals are, how you're doing. And then next week, if you want to weigh in on anything, we can share your information during the show next week. Or if you're in the chat next week, you can share with us. So
we could even share the link to jump in.
That's
beforehand, but that is very easy.
That's a good idea.
Yep. So if you want to jump on just for a few minutes, tell us how, what your listing challenge was for yourself and how it went and stuff. That would be really fun.
Yeah. So Lola, do you want to start out? Now that I'm comfortable, I want to grab my chair. And now that I'm
okay, yeah, sure. I can totally go ahead.
I want to grab my chair because I'm like kneeling on and
awesome.
I want to grab my chair and just grab my list, my items that I wanted to show. So if you can start off, maybe. Yeah. I'll be right back.
So I have a whole rack of items, which is behind me. I always use the wrong way. So everything on this rack, maybe with a couple exceptions, has already been measured. It has been inputted into a spreadsheet with all of the specifics like the fiber content, size, things like that. And it still isn't listed. So all I really have to do for everything back is take photos. And I'm still trying to figure out the best way to take photos right now because so used to live in a house in Philly, as you probably know if you've watched this show for a while. And I mean, not recently, like a year and a half ago at this point, we moved into an apartment, but I still haven't figured out a good way to get around the fact that our walls are like a really ugly yellowish off-white. And all the photos I've taken against the wall have turned out really poor, like the color's off, like it just sort of washes out the actual color of the items. So my main goal this week, I think, is to figure out once and for all the best solution for doing my photographs in our apartment. I've tried a bunch of things. So far, nothing has been satisfactory to me. I think what I'm leaning towards right now is to do a flat lay and to make sure that I have my lighting set up so that I have natural lighting. I can't rely enough on the outdoor lighting. Oh, Heather, the sound isn't in sync. It was for me before. Is it still an issue? Or if anyone else in the chat wants to weigh in. So that was one of the reasons I moved my office around so that I could set up my lighting and then do a flat lay on the floor. So that's gonna be the first thing I try. And pull these down. Sound is in sync. Cool. Sounds fine. Okay, great. Sorry.
In sync like the band.
So all of this stuff is a mishmash of different sources, different types of items. This is a Phillip Lim skirt.
Oh.
Nate, I think I might have gotten this with you.
Yeah, that's nice.
I remember
there's also a Phillip Lim line for Target. This is the
real thing. This is not for Target. It's a size 8. I remember trying it on, and it was just a tiny bit too small. I almost wore it like for Christmas or something, and then I decided that probably would rather sell it because it should go for a nice amount. And it's a nice size. It's a great brand. It's a nice size. So It's definitely out of season right now, but if I list it now, someone will be looking for it in the fall before we know it. This is a wrap skirt that you sent me, I believe.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
And I think you said this was like a preppy brand that was a little bit less.
Yeah,
less
it's kind of like up there with, it's less well known, but it's kind of like along the lines of it looks like Vera Bradley. I think it's like CK Bradley or something.
Bradley, yep.
But it's kind of like the Lily Pulitzer Vineyard Vines crowd, where are
super
and that's
cute.
actually really good for like cottage core too. And
that's true.
Yeah.
It's almost, I guess it could be reversible, but it does have this in.
It's quilted, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not quite reversible, but it is just like a very simple wrap skirt. It's very.
You have all of your stuff so organized and neatly hung too.
So I have had this wrap nicely organized for longer than I would like to admit. It's just been staged, ready for me to photograph, and I haven't done it yet. So I'm really glad that we have this this challenge, so I can finally do it.
Yeah, very good.
This skirt, I think, was also from you. It's a beautiful boucle skirt, and it is a two-piece, but the top part is missing. It does say on the tag, I think. Oh, wait, sorry. I may have gotten this confused with another item. No, this is not a two-piece. This is Glaciques.
Yeah, I did send you a boucle skirt, but that might
not. Yeah, you know what? I have two boucle skirts then, because the other one is the one where I was trying to figure out the best way to market it, because it's beautiful, like 60s vintage, but it was definitely a two-piece suit, and I only have the skirt. This is a different skirt. This one.
I would get that on. I would try that on Poshmark too.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's a wool blend with some mohair. It's a size 2, but it looks kind of big for a size 2. So we'll definitely have to double check that. And then I'll do one more item. This is from a blue box. I think I unboxed it on a previous episode. And I looked up comps on this, and it's actually, it's a pretty good item. So it's like a vintage Knicks jersey. I think it's like 90s with New York on the back.
That's awesome.
It is a bit faded. So I did wash it. I need to like sweater shave it because it has some kind of fuzz on it. And I feel like it's showing up brighter on screen than it is in real life. So I need to figure out how to make sure and disclose the fading accurately. Which is one of the reasons why I've been frustrated about getting the color just right on my photos, because I have a few items like that where I don't want the buyer to be disappointed that it's vintage, there's some wash wear. But like, I think the iPhone is also programmed to automatically fix some of the color in a way that actually kind of backfires, because I want it to be clear that the color is off.
When I have color issues, I'll bring things into Photoshop and color correct, but when I have to.
Yeah.
So I have, do you want me to just go through some of the things I have to list, or should I start with some of my goals?
I start with some of my goals, so you can.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to list at least 25 items this week. Now that doesn't sound like a super ambitious goal, but I'm also dealing with, some appointments this week. I have, I have an appointment for my son. I have, things going on with my kids and all, and my mom is here, I'm helping take care of her, and, she's got some issues. So I got a lot going on. Plus I have, other jobs, like design jobs and all. So I think that's, at a minimum, that's a good, but I'd like to do more than that. What I'd like to do is share 5 a day with you, if possible. Mm-hmm. We had talked about setting up a Google Doc, Lola and I, and sharing links. So what we were doing before when we've had listing challenges is, just personal, just her and I have to send her 5 links or a certain amount of links in a day and say, just to prove like, okay, it's listed. So I think what I'm going to do is set up a Google Doc, and then we'll just share our 5 each in the Google Doc. And if I do more, then that's great. But I also want to get some things listed for my current listing pile, but I also want to pull some things that have been listed for a while and some things that I'm putting off. I have a lot of fabric to list that I've been putting off. And I also want to, as I go through my profit pile, which is huge, I won't get through the whole thing in 1 week, that's for sure. I want to see what realistically I can donate. Maybe I want to keep, maybe, repurpose, or just, because there are things that are just not worth listing. And then I also have, I want to go through. So I also want to get, so my friend Randy in Canada sent me, and it was like right around the time that my dad had passed away. So I've been putting it off, and, I need some motivation too, because after my dad died, I've had a lot of depression, to be honest. And it's been really hard dealing with the loss. I am struggling a lot more than you guys know, because I don't talk about it, as much. But it's been really, really hard. I miss my dad terribly, and I cry every day for him. So with that said, sometimes I know that's getting in my way with doing design jobs, with listing, with everything, in my life. It's hard when you're dealing with something like that. So my friend at the time I was like, I think it'll be good for me to take on the consignment because it'll keep me busy, and it will. But I haven't been listing the stuff that he sent, which is really bad because, he's tied up in inventory, and so am I. And, and I need to get it listed, for both of our sakes. So, some of the things, so I have a bunch of things that he sent me. Some of them are like girly things, like clothing and bags and all. So I'm kind of gravitating towards those. But some of the easier things that he sent me to list are things like computer parts and light bulbs, like for sun lamps, and things that are totally out of my wheelhouse. But I have him to message. He can tell me he knows all about them, so he can help me list them. They're easy to look up, so it's really not that much of a challenge. And he sent me a lot of multiple things, a lot of lenses, a lot of sunglass lenses, and frames too that I can list on Poshmark. Some of them are very high end, and I'll show them to you. So, and we're going to split the profits, and it'll be a great deal for both of us. He was having trouble selling some of them on Poshmark in Canada. They just weren't moving. And I think, he thought, me being in the US with the shipping and all too, with eBay, that I'm probably going to have an easier time selling some of these types of items. So, but when you're doing consignment for someone, you got to get the stuff listed. So that's one of my goals, is to work on some of the stuff, some of the consignment items this week, and some of my own items. And then other goals, I wanted to go through my eBay listings and see what needs required item specifics. I have, let's see, I can find my eBay. Nope.
Trying to pull up the.
But yeah, let me get to it first, though. Darn. I don't know where my screen is for it. Nope. I don't have it, but I have a bunch of different like required item specifics that are, some of them are suggested, some of them are required, and I know that I'm not getting the coverage, like the views, so I need to update a lot of my eBay listings. I think we all have those. And then I have, I want to start sharing on Poshmark more. Like I've been slacking on my sharing on Poshmark, and my sales have been dropping. And so I need to share my closet at least once a day. So that's one more thing this week that I'm going to work on. I want to list some items on Mercari, and I have some sewing patterns and fabric that I could list on Etsy. Now that's kind of like a bonus thing that I would actually get to that. And I was actually thinking, Lola, maybe since I have an Etsy account, I've bought on Etsy, but I need to start listing on Etsy. Maybe that would be like a whole different show at some point, to get.
Yeah, I also have a ton of stuff I could cross list on Etsy between my fabric and sewing patterns, and my sewing patterns are mostly listed. So that's, just a matter of cross listing, like copy and paste, and tweaking it a little bit for Etsy instead of eBay. But if we both did that, we could also just do a whole getting started on Etsy show and kind of
That's what I was thinking, that might be a whole nother, because I don't want to bite off more than I can chew this week either.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to start that. If I get to a Etsy listing or two, great this week, but I don't know if that's going to actually happen.
Yeah.
So I think, with those goals in mind, I think that's enough for the week. And I think I'll get now. I can show some of the items in a minute, but I wanted to, if you can pop me on the screen, pop the other screen on. I'll show you what I have. So I have had, you can see the dates on these. Go back to that window. So you can see the dates on these. December 22nd, 2020. So my dad was sick then, and I was still taking photos then, and lots of photos. And then he passed away on January 30th, and I just kind of stopped. Like, I've been listing, but my momentum has just like not been what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see all of these things, and I just took, so I have it set up so that when I take photos on my phone, they automatically will go into, the photos will then automatically go into on the cloud. So they're all on my laptop, on my phone. And I just took some screen captures of my camera roll. And these all happen to be dresses and items. These dresses and all these are not listed yet, but I have photos of them. So what I should do is, I do have that skirt listed, but like those shorts, that jersey, like a lot of these things are not listed. All these tops are not listed, but so what I would like to do, that vest, I think I showed that in a haul. I've taken pictures of it. Now would be a great time with Memorial Day, 4th of July coming up. I should get that listed. So what I want to do too is take advantage of the fact that I do have all of these photos taken. I have them, some of them might need some edits, but minimal edits. And what I should really do is take advantage of that and get those items listed that I already have the photos of. I've got half the work done there already.
We had the exact opposite problem, because I was saying how all the stuff on this rack is measured and it's in a spreadsheet on like Google Sheets, and I have to take photos. That's the only thing I have to do. Once I take the photos, I have everything ready to go. I can just throw it up, throw the listings up on eBay and Poshmark. So yeah, that'll be my job this week. And you're talking about like how many a day. I was thinking the same thing. Like, I think I want to set my goal to be really achievable. So like 5 or 10, and then anything beyond that is just bonus. Yeah. I have to count how many items I have here, because that might not actually add up to everything. But I think it's more important to me to not set a goal that I can't meet and then like feel worse about myself and like beat myself up in there. Yeah, baby steps, exactly. And like you're talking about momentum, I think momentum is such an important thing. And thinking back to when we were doing that like 5 item a day challenge, we did that for several months, and
we did great. We were getting lots of stuff listed just 5 a day. And that's easy, in a day. So I think like Jess said, baby steps, but achievable goals is key. That's really important. Like I want to get a dent into my friend Randy's, the stuff that he sent me to sell on consignment. I want to get a dent in that, so that I can also tell him, hey, look, I finally got to. And he's been really great. He's a great friend. He's been really awesome about it. He knows my dad died. He knows I'm happy. But I want to get his stuff listed. Plus, it's stuff that's I've got lying around. I want to get it.
Totally.
And I get it moving, and it'll benefit both of us. So.
Yeah, and I think it's good to remember too that like listing a few items every day is better for the algorithm than putting everything up all at once. And so I may also, like, even if I am kind of ahead of where I want to be and I have everything photographed and it's ready to go, I might hold some of that back and just have it, in drafts, or just like you have your photos in the cloud. I have a photo album in Google Photos where I have all my listing photos, and just like make it as easy as possible to do. All I have to do is like copy and paste the info from Google Sheets into eBay, and then add the photos and hit list, and that's it. It takes 5 seconds. I can do it from the couch.
Exactly. Exactly. And I list up. Do you list on mobile or do you list on your?
I really only list on mobile.
That's all I do too. So what I do is I take and you were saying like you don't like to batch, but what I do is I take all my photos ahead of time. So I have the photos. I measure while I have to have the item in hand to list. Like I can't just list when I'm somewhere else because I have to actually physically look at the item and hold it. And that's just how I am. But I carry my measuring tape is always like on the coffee table around my neck. I have like 3 or 4 of them. So at night while I'm watching, if I finally get a chance to sit down and watch a movie or do something, I'll list then, and I usually can't get to my listing until late at night because of my kids and everything, but that's when I'll do it. So I've had the pictures taken and I can just measure and then list on mobile. So
yeah, so we were talking about, or when we were putting together the document, we were brainstorming for this episode, I mentioned that I don't think the best strategy for me is to do like a assembly line style where you do all the photos and then you do all the measurements and then you do like all the listings, because I tend to I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing or something, I just tend to lose my place, and if I stop for the day and I haven't finished, I like forget what's done for which item. And I've noticed like just going through my old photos in my photo roll, there's a lot of items that are like I took photos more than once, and that's just a waste of time. Like that's not going to help me. So I think it's probably easier or better for me, even though it's a little counterintuitive, to just do each item one at a time.
It makes sense. It's whatever works for you. Yeah. And like for me, and also my lighting is key too, because I never invested in a bunch of lights. I have great lighting, and I had even better lighting in my old house, but I have good lighting in this house too. But at night, I don't have good lighting. So I have to take all my pictures in batches when I have the lighting, to take them. And then at night I can then, list at my leisure. So.
Yeah. Did you want to do you have any in-hand items, or is it just me?
I do have in-hand items. It was like,
not you're talking about.
Yeah, so
Marketplace.
Okay, yeah, and I have listed. That's another thing. Maybe this week I will throw something up on Facebook Marketplace because maybe that's a good thing to add in. But I don't. Usually like what I will list is big things that are easier to for pickup. So if I have anything along those lines, I'll see. But yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, I do have some items in hand, so I can show you a few things. So these are. These are Gucci. These are from Randy, from my friend Randy in Canada. So these are, and this is what I'm talking about. These are perfect for Poshmark. And he has Poshmark Canada, and he said it's been really slow, and he doesn't list on Poshmark. So I thought, and these were not moving on eBay. So he said, why don't you try to list them on Poshmark US? And so that's what I'm going to do. But they're Gucci frames.
So nice.
Yeah, and
Poshmark's a great venue for that, just because there are the parties, the designer parties, so those count as designer items.
Yep. There's multiples of these. I think these are probably a different color. Yeah, these are different.
Nice. Those, and that frame style is back into the smaller frames.
Yep, they're all. But I also have to take pictures of them all. So he did send me on a disc, though. He sent me some photos, so I have to see what's there. So, I mean, he's making it really easy for me. So, it should be a no-brainer. And he also said that these should sell really well. These are lenses. They're spare lenses. But he sent me a ton of these. So it's a multiple quantity listing. So it should be super easy to get these listed and, so I have, so I have a bunch like that. He sent me a ton of lenses and frames. So, so I really have to get those listed. I have a whole box of them here. There's Ray-Ban. Yeah, so I have got to get these. So this is what I want to work on some of these specifically. He also sent me I've listed some of the things that he sent me, like there's some dresses and some purses and stuff I've listed on Poshmark. But I want to start, getting some of these listed and sold for both of us. So that is my one goal this week. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff to list. Like I just got a 10 for 10 box, and I haven't done the unboxing, but these are a couple of the good things that were in it. This is a dress.
Oh,
that's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for this time of year. I don't know, it's Robbie B signature. I don't know the brand, but it's super cute. It's like the perfect style of dress for this time of year. So there's a lot. This is actually a vintage 80s.
Is that cashmere?
No, it's not. It is I think it's acrylic. It's acrylic and nylon. So, but it's like in crispy shape, but it's 80s. It's vintage 80s. So that's something that would be great for Depop. This awesomeness came in the 10 for 10 blue box. Check these out.
Oh wow! Oh
yeah. So these are Adidas
like streetwear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These are going to be great on Depop.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're a men's. They're a larger size. I think they might be vintage. I'm not 100% sure if they're vintage or just. Yeah, I don't know how. But
they definitely look like they could be. I don't. Yeah. I don't know tags off the top.
They're a size large men's, so these should do really well on Depop. Mm-hmm. And then I want to list some things that are kind of seasonal as far and trending right now. So we have been talking about cottage core, how cottage core is trending in home decor, and it's still in fashion.
Cottage core.
So this is April Cornell. So we've talked about April Cornell, and
is that the older the boutique collection? I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah. So this is. Older. I think it's made in India, so it's not, but it's an older tag. It's not, but so I can list it as vintage, but this would be perfect. Like this is, so I have this dress that I got from Thrift to You that's just been sitting, and I have this photographed. This is the brand is Papillon, and
is that vintage or just the tag looks like it could be like 90s, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's like I think it is 90s. It's not. But I have to get this listed because this is the perfect time of year for that, and it's like a maxi dress. And then I've got a ton of fabric. I did list some of my fabric, but I have a ton more. Cottage core, upholstery fabric. I've got some remnants that will still, and one of my soles, I'll show you that, sometimes small amounts, if it's a good quality fabric. These were samples. So I have some of these to sell. They're like literally.
Oh yeah, but that's still enough for a smaller project. And
exactly. So
it's still huge right now to be renovating your house, and people are still in that like staying at home mode where they're realizing everything they want to change about their living space. So this is the time to be listing upholstery fabric for sure.
These are photographed. I've got to get these skeins of yarn listed.
You sent me some of that yarn. I should send it back to you. Yeah, I have 2 skeins of that.
Did I send you some of it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that's okay. Unless you want this, I can send it to you.
I actually think I might have it listed, but it would definitely be better to have it listed as one listing.
Yeah. I didn't even know I sent you any. I found a bunch of it. I found some more of it like and I was like, oh, I'll just list them because I have a few. I didn't even know I sent it to you, but we can, I could even send it to you. And
well, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Make sure that
I have this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is a NASCAR blanket that it's
it's actually a blanket, not just fabric.
It is a blanket. It's stitched. It's like But I have this Hawaiian dress to list.
Oh, that's good.
So photographed.
And pretty.
Yep. And I do have I have a bunch of sewing patterns that I don't have here, but I have I've got sewing patterns, and then the other thing. There's just one of them, but I've got a bunch of. The other thing is I've got some jewelry to list, and I don't list a lot of jewelry, but I have here and I don't know why I never listed this. It is Lily Pulitzer.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's a cuff bracelet.
perfect for this time of year. Definitely the time to be listing that.
So I need to get this listed, and that'll do well in Poshmark. And then I just got a bag of jewelry. I just got more jewelry from Thrift to You. This is Park Lane, and I looked up this pin. I got this pin from, it's a lion pin, and this pin sells for at least $20. It's vintage, and the only thing is it did come without the back on it, so I have to get a back for it. But I can get one.
Yeah,
I might even have one somewhere. Pin backs aren't that hard to get, so but I can, so I want to get some of this jewelry listed. I'm also going to list some of these I'm not going to list, but I'm going to list, I think I'm going to list this cat pin too, because it's super cute.
that is very cute.
Yeah, it does not have any markings on the back, so, but I think that might still sell.
Yeah, I don't think it matters for that.
Yeah.
Very, distinctive style.
Yeah, so I have, these are clip-on earrings. They're vintage. I might list those. So I have, so I've got some, a mix of everything, and I want to start, diversifying a bit. So this is that's just kind of a sampling of some of the stuff that I have here. I've got a Jägermeister hat. Not something necessarily I would wear, but
I think somewhere I have Jägermeister like shot glasses or something. I don't even know where they came from.
So somebody might be interested in that.
Yeah, Heather has a great point. List the higher value items first. I definitely should do that. I feel like I always end up doing the like low hanging fruit first, and the low hanging fruit's not necessarily the high value fruit. So it does make sense to prioritize just based on what's the biggest return on your time.
I agree with that. And I think my priorities, my focus should be, and I know, and again, Randy's not pressuring me by any means. He's not like hounding me saying like, where is my stuff listed? If, he's not by any means. He knows, he's a personal friend of mine. He knows what I've been dealing with and all, but, but I'd like to get it listed, because I took on this consignment job. So I think my main focus is going to be to get at least a chunk of his stuff listed, and then to focus on some of the other things. So I think in my case, I think I should probably focus on getting those listed first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the sunglasses, and he sent me so many of them, and he just couldn't move them in Canada. So he said, hey, why don't you try in the US, and, I'll split the profits with you. And, so it's good. It's a good deal for both of us. So,
that's another good strategy, do a mix, and then you have a wide variety of items for potential buyers. I think that's also a great thing to keep in mind on Poshmark, because you want to encourage bundles.
Yeah.
But I do think right now I already have my lower end stuff, like I have enough of it, so I probably should focus, at least right now, on the higher end stuff and just make sure it's listed.
They are, yes, they are absolutely authentic sunglasses. Yeah. I mean, he bought them from a reputable place, but I also, they're definitely authentic. So I'm good with that. Yeah. So, and that's, like that inventory kind of fell into my lap right there. So, I've got some really good that I didn't have to go and take the time to source. I've got great inventory. Everything that he sent me is high value, high end, good brands, good returns. So, so half the work is already done for me there. And like I said, he did send me he did send me a memory stick, and there are some photos of some of the items. So I have to see what's on there, but so I might not even have to.
You were getting a little bit of teasing in the chat earlier because you said disc, and then Jason said,
"What was that?"
I think you said that he sent you a disc, and so you're
like one of those little sticks, like the little
that makes no sense. Just as
no, like one of the little the little USB things.
Thumb drive.
Yeah, that. I have this lovely thing. I might have to keep this though. It's like,
that's cute.
Now that I'm losing weight, I don't know. It's cute. But, so I've got some things like that mixed in that I have to really think, like, is this worth the list? Am I just going to keep it because I like it, So I have, yes, thank you. USB memory stick. Okay. So, what is there anything else that you wanted to add, Lola?
Yeah, I mean, well, I have more stuff that I could show,
cool. Okay.
but I know we're also closing in on an hour, so maybe we'll do another batch, and then I know I can pull off the stuff I was most excited to show.
Definitely. I'd like to see it.
I think some of this I've also shown before, so not all of it is new anyway.
I love how organized you are, though. I am not that organized. I have everything folded.
A rare moment of organization for me.
My stuff to list is like in these bags. It's folded and all, but it's still like just in these bags. Like that's what I put my most, and then I'll transfer them to the Rubbermaids after that.
So I mean, and like talking about higher end items, I think some of these are good examples of like what I should be prioritizing. This is an Athleta top. I think it is merino wool potentially. Let's see. Oh, it's not. Moto polyester and spandex. But I just thought it feels really, really nice. I don't think I've ever listed an Athleta thing before. Did you send me this? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't think so, though.
It's like a really nice and nice workout top. And
Athleta it's definitely will sell on Poshmark. I have, but it's slower moving lately.
No, it's not like Lululemon. I know, not quite that level, but I think this
even Lulu is slower on Posh.
Is it really?
Yes.
I haven't listed any in a while, so
I have Lulu that has been sitting for months on.
Wow. This is a Tory Burch top that I really need to get listed.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It has really nice details on the sleeves. They're like really nice heavy gems.
That looks well on
Poshmark. They're all present. I don't think any of them are missing on either side. It's a small, so it's not the best size, but like it's in great shape. It is Tory Burch, so I will take it.
Yeah.
I think I paid like nothing for this. I think it was at the thrift store for like $4.99 or something.
Wow.
So whatever I get for it, I will be very happy with. This is a shirt that was from my personal collection, but I did thrift it long, long time ago. I remember wearing it for like Christmas dinner at one point. It is, it is Anne Klein, and it also has the Bergdorf Goodman tag.
It is gorgeous. Oh my god.
The dry clean tags on it, so you can't really see it. But yeah, it has this beautiful detail, and then it is missing a button on one of the cuffs. So
it's not a deal breaker.
I don't think so. And I do think I have the button somewhere. So
yeah, you could just sew it back on, and then you wouldn't even have to disclose that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it. So they're fabric covered buttons, and the fabric itself tore off.
Oh.
But it may also have an extra.
Like a piece of fabric that you could take.
Yeah, it has the does have the union tag though. Oh. But I was hoping I'd have the extra button. I don't see it. Another possibility though is I could take this shirt to a fabric store, try to match the silk as well as I can, and then just make another fabric covered button. Mm-hmm. Or I could sell it as is, but it's so beautiful. I would hate to not, not do everything I can to move it. And it had the button, like I remember when it fell off, I was wearing it. So it's sad to, like I could have fixed it. I should fix it. This is an Etro top. I bought two Etro tops. The other one's still on the rack. This was from Shop Goodwill, and there were two different listings, but it was from like the same location. Is it worth my time, Heather? It's a good question. Probably not.
It might just be better to just disclose.
I might just disclose it. It's more.
You might not really make that much more.
Yeah.
If you go through it. Yeah.
I think I've gotten a little bit too attached to that shirt. Honestly, it doesn't fit me.
Maybe that's one that you have to reevaluate.
Yeah, time is money. Yeah, I think it's one of those, like we always say it's good to separate out your like emotions, because it's so easy to get attached to stuff and to like really want to to list it for or expect a higher price than you really should get, because it's something that you have like emotional connection to. And I definitely feel like this is a piece where I could run the risk of doing that, because it's like one of my all-time favorite finds, but I'm never going to fit into it again. Yeah. And so it's probably best to just let it go to the next person who can buy it, and they can probably take it to a tailor or something and have that button replaced. So this is just such a fun, colorful shirt. I actually should list this for Pride. Because this would be a great, very, very sharp looking shirt for Pride. But yeah, so I forget exactly what I paid for it, but I got a great deal because I was able to get the two shirts and then ship them together. So the shipping was much more reasonable than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah.
Nate, did you see the back?
That is so awesome.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that would do well on Depop probably too.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, totally. So that should probably be the first thing I miss, because Pride Month starts in a couple days. Although most Pride, that is a great point. Yeah, time is a finite resource. I was gonna say, most Pride parades are postponed this year to like October, September. So we do talk about listing stuff for Pride. If it's rainbow, use the Pride Pride keyword.
There's still more time for
But this year we have more time than usual. So
okay, good.
This is a Reformation dress.
Oh wow!
It's definitely not as high value of a brand as it used to be.
No, but it's just.
Yeah, it's just such a great, I do not have the guts to wear this dress. I'm sure that there is someone out there who does and will look amazing in it. I think this is definitely like a Depop item, but I'll put it on Poshmark also. Probably eBay.
Yeah, you have some great items there that, you have
just
money.
Ridiculous what I've been sitting on. This is a piece that I had to really work on, and I've already put in the work, so I should list it. It's a Nay, you'll have to school me how to say Givenchy.
Yes, Givenchy.
Givenchy.
Yeah.
It was super, super stained when I found it. I really carefully. Okay, cool. So is that still in June, or is that later? Later in the year? I do want to get some of that cereal. I haven't looked for it yet.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
So this couple soaks in OxiClean, and I think I also used some hydrogen peroxide. I definitely don't see any stains at all, and it was literally just like the whole front was discolored. So I think I'd be comfortable listing it. I do want to make sure that there isn't anything I'm missing that I need to disclose. But it has these beautiful French cuffs. And you can it's one of those things when you look at the way it's the way it seemed like this in the front, so much attention to detail. All of the stripes are perfectly matched. And
yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah. And that's what I pulled off the rack. So if you have anything left that you want to share?
I don't have anything else in the bathroom here. I had left stuff in the other room. So, but I have a bunch of stuff like that. That's, mostly,
Heather says, if you can't say it, you can't wear it. I think that is completely fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Chicago's Pride Parade was rescheduled for October 3rd. Yeah. I think that's I think Philly's is late September. So that's probably Yeah.
Good.
That'd be even more.
I see some great goals in the chat too. So
Yeah, it's so cool to see everyone sharing. And everything sounds totally doable. Like I feel like a week from now I'll come back and have some good progress to share.
I think so too. And you know, like I said, I think that our little Google Doc will be good, and I can, you know, and maybe I'll show you some of the listings. Hopefully, maybe I've had some sales by then that I can show that you know.
That's the dream.
Yeah. So, but I know some of the fabric that I have listed so far, it's been selling pretty fast. So that is a good thing.
Absolutely. I was looking at some statistics about crafting hobbies particularly, but I'm sure this applies to some other hobbies as well, that people picked up in the pandemic, and just the number of people who are sewing and knitting and doing stuff has exploded. And based on like survey data, people are keeping up with it. It wasn't something that they did while they were bored and are done with. It seems like we probably will see that trend of things like, you know, hobby related supplies still being in demand. So
yeah. And again, I do have the good thing is that I already have a lot of these things are already photographed. So I think that's going to help a lot, you know. So can you cut to the others, to my share screen for a second? So I did want to show this. So I did. Now this was during the difficult times. So this is I found this article, and I can stick the link in the description. But so these are some of this life hack article that I found, that it has like some good tips for staying motivated. So one is start simple, which, you know, like Heather said, you know, small steps, definitely, or was that Jess?
I think it was Heather.
Yeah. And then so identify your motivation style. So, you know, and keep motivators around your work area, things that give you initial spark to get going. So, and then keep good company. So yeah, we have each other, Lola and I have, you know, and all of you guys, if you want to join in. So that definitely helps make more regular encounters with positive and motivated people. And then keep learning, you know, that's true, you know. And as I'm listing, like I said, some of these items, I don't have, like some of the things that Randy said, I don't have good grasp on, you know, selling that type of stuff. But hey, you know, I'm learning, so it's always good. Yeah, the good and the bad. So stop thinking, just do. Yes, and that is true. You know, procrastination can get the best of you. You know.
Well, that's a great example of that is how Heather called me out on like obsessing over this button. Like I'm definitely overthinking that. I just need to get it listed.
Just do it. Just get it listed. Disclose it. You know, don't worry about it. Yeah. Know yourself. Yeah. Keep notes on when your motivation sucks and when you feel like a superstar. There will be a pattern that once you're aware of, you can work around and develop. So track your progress. Definitely. I think Lola and I are going to hold ourselves accountable with the doc, and, you know, any ways that you can, there's another link in there for 4 simple ways to track your progress. So, and then help others. And definitely, like we're helping each other, share your ideas, and help friends get motivated. So seeing others do well will motivate you to do the same. Write about your success and get feedback from readers. I'm finding that with my weight loss too, like, you know, and I'm not by any means like bragging, because this is hard work, but I put a post up on, you know, on my social media, you know, saying, hey, I just hit, you know, over 20 pounds. I'm at like 21 pounds now, I think 22. I don't know. I have to weigh myself on Monday, but I was at 20.8 pounds. And I was like, you know, wow, I'm really proud of myself. Like this is, and in the post, instead of people, you know, like saying, hey, you're bragging, you know, it's like, instead, I found that I was motivating others, you know, and they were saying, hey, you know, I can do this too. If you can do it, or hey, I want to start losing weight too. You know, like this is inspiring me. So I think that that's true. That definitely.
And it must also feel great to get that feedback of people saying congratulations, because when you don't share it, you know, you're the only one who knows, and it kind of doesn't feel as big of a deal. But then when you have people around you who can cheerlead you and then remind you like, yeah, that took a lot of work and that was an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, and I think it helps you to keep going too when you share with others. Like, you know, it helps to keep the momentum up because I'm not done with my weight loss, so I want to keep going. But you know, if I didn't share it, and I just kept it to myself, and I didn't, you know, and I didn't have other people like say, or I wasn't, and that also like holds me accountable, you know, by sharing it, you know, because if I gain 20 pounds back, then that's going to look, you know, kind of bad if I'm like, oh, darn, I gained the 20 pounds back, you know, after I'm getting out there and saying I lost it, you know, so I think that helps to keep you motivated to keep going.
Yeah.
Too many steps. If you could only take one step, just do it. Once you get started on something, you almost always get into it and keep going. Yeah, the momentum is true. So there will be times when you have to do things you really don't want to. That's where the other steps and tips from other people come in handy. So yeah, so I think those are good. And then I have some like inspirational quotes here, you know, so Thomas Edison said, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to always try just one more time. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like if we don't reach all of our goals, I don't think Lola and I should be beating ourselves up next week. We should be saying, okay, we didn't get this done, but you know, here's how we can get it done better in the future. So,
yeah. And I think, that's one thing that I definitely want to do this week is just really tune in, like that suggestion was saying, like, know yourself, know when you're productive, know what's working for you, and just to like really drill down into like paying attention to that, because what works will then set me up for like the rest of the summer. If I'm setting goals every week to know this is how I'm going to achieve them because this was what was working or this is what was not working and I need to do it differently. It's sort of about like creating those processes that are going to work for you.
Exactly. I like some of these quotes, or, you know, especially the way to get started is quit talking and begin doing. Either you run the day, or the day runs you. That's true. There's so many, you know, positive, inspirational, motivational things out there for you to, you know, and go. And I think the best motivators are your friends. So
yeah.
And so, did you have anything to add, Lola?
No, I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. And I super appreciate everyone in the chat just like sharing their goals and sharing what's working and sharing, you know, like you guys were talking about Facebook Marketplace and how great it is. It definitely is a motivation for me to think about that. I have never done Facebook Marketplace, but it's definitely on my radar. So
you're so right. And that is, you know, people that don't go through it necessarily don't understand, but depression is really, and that's why I'm open about it, because I talk about it. I am bipolar. I have bipolar disorder. That's what I was born with. And I take medication every day to combat that. But when, you know, I lost my dad, who was really my best friend, and it was like, you know, that I think anyone would get depressed, you know, from that. And that's been tough. It's been tough. Some days it's really tough to get motivated to even get out of bed and get going, you know, so let alone, you know, list a bunch of stuff. And, you know, so I'm way behind on my design work. I'm way behind on listing and everything, but I need to get back in the game and do it. So, but yeah, it is hard some days. And there are some days when you have to give yourself, like, be kind to yourself and say, like, okay, I'm not going to get it done today. You know, it's just,
there's such a fine line between knowing what days you just need to push yourself, and like if you do just kind of like force yourself to do something, it'll get a little bit easier. And then some days when that's just absolutely not possible, and you have to be honest with yourself and kind to yourself and say, like, this is the day that that I'm not going to get anything done, but I'm not going to, you know, beat myself up over it because I am depressed, and that's just a biological reality and the way my brain chemistry is working. So I definitely, I definitely understand that also.
We have some breaking news. I did try to pull this article up again and see, I can't get past the paywall. So I don't know if you want to bring it up, but I can bring up the other one first while you're pulling that up. So we do have some thrifting news. Oh, there we go. Okay, great.
So this was something that I had kind of earmarked a while ago that I wanted to talk about. We haven't had a chance yet. So it's not quite like breaking, but it's still recent. So as one of the, many hobbies that has sort of exploded during the pandemic, trading cards are huge right now. So both seems like baseball cards, sports cards, and then also cards like Pokemon cards that are not sports related. And so probably pretty much everyone's seen this by now, but Target actually stopped carrying trading cards because their employees were getting like accosted and were not feeling safe, because people would like stalk them to try and get first dibs at the new inventory.
Okay.
It's just wild. And so I think it's interesting on the one hand as resellers, because this is sort of part of our ecosystem, like whether or not we're buying retail packages of cards, collectors obviously are looking on platforms we sell on. But then also I feel like the word or the term flipper came up a lot in the story and like other stories I've seen talking about this topic. And I feel like a little, what's the word? Defensive.
Yeah.
This isn't what I do. This isn't what a lot of us do, but it's definitely in terms of like the general public, I don't think sees the difference between people who do like retail arbitrage and people who, sell secondhand stuff primarily. But definitely within our sphere. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if someone who's watching this also is someone who would be selling these cards. So Brian says that someone in the Chicago area that resell, they break over the pallets on the floor to get Pokemon cards. So is this like they're buying seconds pallets, or they're actually doing this like at Target? Okay, so this is like at Target. So you bribe managers to keep them in the back. Yeah, wow. It's just wild. And personally, not something I'm interested in doing, but I'm interested in keeping tabs on what's happening.
Jess has some of her goals there.
That's really, really good advice. Yeah. Especially something like item specifics that's like so tedious, but you can do it from your phone.
On those days when you're kind of down, you can. Yep.
Cross-listing, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Very good advice.
Yeah. And then the other related news article
is that one?
Yeah, so there's a baseball card collector who passed away sadly of COVID, and his collection is now going to auction, and includes like just some once in a lifetime cards, and it also seems like this is the moment when that's like everyone's waiting for these because there's such a demand. Okay, good. I'm glad things are getting a little bit easier for him then. Yeah. Wow. So it's this weird moment where it's like, it's really exciting to also see some of these collectibles that haven't been in vogue for a while coming back, but then also just creating these really weird situations where people are scared at their jobs. So, if you have thoughts on this topic that differ from ours or from mine, because I'm the one talking about this, very open to hearing your perspective, very open to hearing differing opinions. And if you have more knowledge than I do, because this is definitely outside my wheelhouse in terms of expertise of things I sell, definitely curious to hear that as well. Nate, did you want to add anything?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just flipped. I didn't mean
to. No, it's fine. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
No, I think that was.
Mm-hmm.
So our next segment is our market report. And I do have some. Do you have anything to share this week, Lula?
I don't know. I do.
Well, hopefully you will next week because you'll be listening. So I have, this is the first thing I have is this Linnea Donatella pink lace lingerie dress. So this I just shipped out today.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, it is really pretty. And this was another Thrift to You find. It wasn't vintage or anything. You can see
great stuff on Thrift to You. I was browsing the other day and I think I just lost patience. I think I need a little bit more patience.
Well, you really have to go through because there's, there's a lot of like, faded glory and like, stuff that's flawed and this and that. But it's like a real thrift store. You just have to go through and look through and
it is definitely the closest to actually going to a thrift store on the internet.
Because you really have to. So this was I paid $1 for it, with shipping. I always group it with some other things so that I get the maximum out of the shipping. And I took an offer on Poshmark for $25 on it, which I thought was fair because it was not vintage or anything, but it was really pretty. And then I sold this Andre Hawaiian shirt for $50. I don't know if Jason's still in the chat, but if he saw that, he'd probably like that one. But it was really, it had like ducks and stuff on it. It was really funny. So here's
where did you find this?
This one, I think, did I get it I think I got it in Shop Goodwill a while ago.
Yeah. Oh, was it one of the
last year
or something? No, maybe I'm thinking of another shirt.
No. This was Shop Goodwill.
Shop Goodwill, not Goodwill Blue Box. Sorry.
No, not Blue Box. So so Goodwill Hawaii, Shop Goodwill Hawaii. They had a bunch of Hawaiian shirts and stuff a while ago, and I won some of those auctions for like nothing. And so I think this was one of the ones that I sourced during the pandemic there. And then I did take an offer of $50, which was really good because I think I spent like maybe $6 on it or something like that, and then I had shipping with a bunch of other stuff. So, and then I sold this on eBay for $17, the North Face. It was just a North Face tank top. So I thought that was a good offer plus shipping.
17 for a tank top. Yeah.
I was like, okay. And it was a size small. So
if I get that for the Athleta top, I'd be super happy.
Yeah. So I was happy with that. And that had been sitting for a little while. So I was happy with that offer. And then I was surprised talking about the fabric that I've been selling. So this was only a half a yard of this fabric. That's it, a half yard. And it sold for $22. It was Waverly. It's out of print. It's not made anymore. It's upholstery fabric. And it was called Painter's Sketchbook. And it's Soro. So if you ever see Waverly Soro fabric, that's what it looks like you can see on the selvage there. And it was really
Waverly in general, I've noticed, does very well.
Yeah.
And if you go back to one of the photos of the selvage.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to point out where it says Scotchgard, like that is an immediate hint that you're looking at upholstery fabric if you're not familiar with fabric in general.
Yeah. And you could tell with this because it was heavy too. Upholstery fabric is not always, but usually it is heavier too. So I could tell, so this was a good fabric and somebody was happy to get, but a half a yard. See, I priced it high. I mean, that for a half a yard of fabric, that is not a lot of fabric for $22,
I mean, think about it, like fabric's normally priced per yard. That is $44 a yard.
Exactly.
That is a high price fabric. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was happy with that. And then next, we do have a question for you.
Yeah, so we've already got some of those answers in the chat, but if you're watching this after the fact, please leave us a comment. Tell us what you're up to. Tell us what your goals are, and hopefully you'll tune in again next week and let us know how it went.
He said ugly. Well, ugly sells, and it's awesome. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like good ugly, like funky ugly.
Yeah. The funny thing is, too, I did not think that was going to sell on Poshmark. I wasn't even going to list it on Poshmark because it's like one of those funky things. So I crossed it on Depop, eBay, and I threw it up on Posh. I don't even know why I put it on Posh. Normally I wouldn't. And it sold on Poshmark. So you never know,
That is a great point. Yeah. I definitely
thought for sure that
eBay or
like Depop. Exactly. A Depop piece. Yeah. So, and you can find us everywhere where Lola's mostly Run Lola Run. And I am mostly Thrifty Nay. But on eBay, we're different where I'm Colbray Asterisk Dazzle and Lola is Low 2 hyphens or dashes. Bye. And so email us or drop us a line next week if you want to participate. We can always, share the link. If anyone wants to participate, they can pop in and tell us how they did too next week if you want to do that. we'd love to have you participate in our listing challenge too. So good luck, everyone, with your goals, and we'll let you know next week how we did on our part 2 of our listing challenge. Plus, we'll be celebrating Lula's birthday.
Be great. See you all next week, and have a great weekend. Have a great long Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. Have a great weekend, and we'll see everyone next week. Bye.